Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you and welcome to the Business Showcase. We're glad to have you. I'm your host, Dr. Carl Matthews, and welcome to being with us here today. We have a very interesting guest that's with us today, and we're going to be talking about recidivism. And we're going to be talking about releasing people who are coming back into the community. Hey, listen, I just recently found out that there was approximately 650,000 people being released from the criminal justice system every year. I also found out that 9 million of them who recycle that land back in jail. So we got a really bad problem with recidivism, and we have some interesting guests who's doing something about it. When you have the displaced and disenfranchised who are being released and they're back into the community, many times they're facing the barriers of employment, housing, and other things, even transportation. What does that do? That typically allow a person to end right back in the system where they just come from. And I'm really excited about having my guest here today who's going to be sharing with us a very innovative opportunity for those, I would like to refer to them as returning citizens and not ex-offenders, because it is an ex. However, I think a returning citizen, they was a citizen before they left and they're still a citizen. And we have an interesting guest by the name of Brian who's with us, and he's going to tell us more about who he is and who he represents. And we have Mr. Terrence with us also, who are colleagues who work together. And I was introduced to them maybe 4 weeks ago. And a very interesting program. I was very impressed to see how they were making a difference in our community. Hey, listen, welcome guys for being here with us today. And Brian.
Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you.
Yeah.
And so you just come in from Dallas, didn't you?
Correct. Yeah.
And came in to join us today, and we going to be having another meeting after this meeting, right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Making a difference.
Coming to be here with you.
Absolutely. Hey, man, I appreciate having you here too.
Yeah.
And my good friend and buddy who I've gotten a chance to know, Mr. Terrence.
Yes, sir.
Guy, very thorough, very conservative, serious guy. I mean, he don't play. Terrence, go ahead and introduce yourself, my friend.
My name is Terrence Sampson. I'm the Director of Small Business Development for the Prison Entrepreneurship Program and Direct Liaison to Entree Capital.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so they are working with what you call, it was my first time when I heard it was called PEP. I know it's not PEP or anything like that. It's called Prison Entrepreneurship or Preneur Program, right? And I was very excited, number one, to see the people that was in the room. And Brian and I, my good friend, we talked about it, and he shared some things that were very awesome, that really got my attention. Brian, go ahead and tell them who you are, what you do, and your role in this whole process of the PEP program.
And so my name is Brian Robert, and I'm the Executive Director for Entree Capital. And we are a community development financial institution. It's a CDFI, certified by the U.S. Department of Treasury. And we're the only CDFI in the entire country that exclusively serves formerly incarcerated entrepreneurs. And so that is our mission. The theory of change around that is that capital, coaching, and community is what can really accelerate and unlock the potential that's in our guys and gals.
Sure.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's great. Terrence, share with us your role and what your involvement in this process of this program.
So being over small business development, I generally go out into the community and I recruit second chance entrepreneurs and I recruit people who aspire to be an entrepreneur. The great thing about what we do is that if you don't have a record, you don't qualify. So, I mean, we're the only one in the
nation. Say that one more time,
If you don't have a record, you don't qualify.
And this does not imply that you go get a record. You don't want to incentivize you or motivate you to go do wrong.
Don't do that.
But it's for those who have been impacted, whether it was innocent or whether they made a bad choice in life, but they get another opportunity.
That's right.
I like to say it's more than just a second chance, right? Because I know myself, I know I'm way beyond the second chance. I'm like my 100,050th chance, right, of opportunity, just in life, period.
Yeah.
Because we make mistakes along the way.
Yeah.
So, Brian, how did you get into this program, and I mean, what inspired you and motivated you to do this, man?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I had been involved with PEP, the Prison Entrepreneurship Program, back in 2017 in various ways, and found a passion for formerly incarcerated because I saw myself in that. Though I hadn't been formerly incarcerated, I knew deep down God had spared me in a way from that experience.
Right.
And so God just gave me a passion. And frankly, as I began to give towards PEP, I began to receive just as much, if not more, than what I gave. And what I have now today are brothers and sisters now. This family's growing, right?
Right. So, I mean, is it, most of the time people passion is driven either spiritual based or they just a good moral person, or they would either impact due to the fact of themselves personally or maybe a loved one, and they see the experience that returning citizens experience when they return home and they get involved. What was that got you there? What was the motivation?
Well, this just goes back to my walk with God.
Okay.
I didn't always walk with Him, and then He came into my life. And so it was through wanting to go work at the church, because that's the high level of being a Christian.
Yeah, deacon.
That's what I need to go do. That's what I need to go do.
Sing the choir.
Yeah, but God convinced me. I was in banking at the time. This is a long time ago now. Okay, but I was in banking, and I realized God said, "I just need you to be a banker. I need you to just see this as your ministry in banking." And so I stayed in banking, and I began to see, the disparities. And I even I coined a phrase inside the bank. I would tell other bankers, I'd say, "Hey, let's go do this thing." So we're redeeming banking. That's what I would say.
Redeeming banking.
Yeah, we go impact the community and serve the community, and I never really fit in fully. And then God made the way to get to here, where I'm leveraging the skills, gifts, and abilities that He's given me, experiences for the kingdom in this way.
That's a great name, man. Redeeming banking.
Redeeming banking.
Terrence, what about yourself, man? How did you get in this space, and how did you find Brian or PEP, or how did they find you?
Yeah, so I got a very interesting story. I applied for PEP back in 2007. I was still in prison at that time. I was on like my 19th year of incarceration. And I found out that I couldn't get in the program because I had to have 3 years remaining on my sentence in order to qualify. And so for the next 10 years, I wrote almost every month to PEP, telling them, this is who I am. This is what will make me qualify for your program. And 10 years later, they accepted me. And so I'm also a graduate of PEP alumnus. And 6 years after my release, this opportunity became available for me to work with second chance entrepreneurs out of society. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even believe Entree Capital was real. Right? I didn't believe that they were doing. I got to be transparent. It was incredible because I never heard of anything like it. And so when they gave me an opportunity to say, "Look, we want you to come in. We want you to build our small business development. We want you to go out into the community and not only recruit formerly PEP alumni, but we also want you to recruit other second chance citizens." I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't turn.
Man, that just really
bloopers.
That just really sent chills down my spine, man, to know your story. And the world needs to hear that, that 19 years sentence and then took 10 years to writing. That shows your tenacity, your commitment to your transformation, right? And who you are as a human being. You was very consistent. You was very persistent, and I think that's probably why you're doing a phenomenal job now, because you could have just benefited and gone on about your business, but instead you decided to stay and help others and pay it forward. And if the world, we all did that, what a beautiful place we would live in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Agree.
Yeah. So Brian, you know, we were talking, man, and you shared with me some very interesting information. As soon as we come back from this break, then we're going to talk about that and those numbers because you said something that was so profound. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Don't touch the dial. In fact, subscribe right now. Make your comments right there. We're going to have a special gift for you at the end of the show. If you stay to the end, I'm going to have a giveaway. Absolutely. So subscribe, call your friends, share it, and we'll be right back. Thank you for being with us. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, don't forget to touch that subscribe. I want to give a shout out to Cadence Bank for being a partner in this situation, allowing us to come in and utilize their space. We really give a shout out to you, Cadence Bank. Hey, listen, if you're looking for a bank to come and deposit your money, Cadence Bank is someone you want to consider. Hey, Brian. So you were sharing with me, man, about uh, the stalling numbers. I mean, you know, I did some research and I confirmed that because that's what I do. But when you told me that, I was like, wow. Because go ahead and share some of the things that you were talking about with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most startling number, right? When you look at PEP, and to clear this up, real, Entree Capital is a wholly owned subsidiary of PEP. And so I want to clear that up before, you know, PEP's been around for 21 years almost. And Entree Capital was born because, you know, after 15 years of existence, it continued to see this barrier of access to capital for the entrepreneurs. And so coming off the back of PEP, we've seen inside of PEP as low as 4 or 5% recidivism. But as you take that, as you go down the path and you work towards, work with somebody like Terrence and work on your pitch readiness and you work on your loan readiness and you get your plan together and then you get a loan from Entree, we've seen 0% recidivism.
Wow. That's phenomenal numbers, man. And how many people have you touched roughly?
We're at about 45 right now.
45
unique borrowers, yeah.
And you all have been doing this for how many years?
We're on our 6th year now.
6 years.
Yeah.
6 years. Okay. And so that's a great number. I mean, you know, I think the scripture says if you can just save one, right? But you've touched 45 women and changed their lives.
Well, that's not to say, you know, over, you know, about $2.5 million deployed in loans and grants, but also jobs created and retained. We're well over 450 jobs created and retained. You know, most of our borrowers, they hire other return citizens because they understand and create that access. So there's an economic engine within this community of entrepreneurs.
You know, honestly, I mean, let me tell you something. 600,000 is a huge community, right? And I was just thinking, if me as a business owner, if my customers was a base of 600,000, that would be pretty phenomenal, astronomical, and cause a financial gain for me, right? So just being able to have that community and resource, and you know, that takes me to this other point, is that your finding is that you identify, Terrence, many of them who are not just smart, they're brilliant, they got talent, they got skills, they gifted, and they great people just made a bad decision, right?
It's almost like everyone has skeletons in their closet. Everyone alive. We've all did things that in life we would probably never do again. Some of us were incarcerated because of those things, but some of us, you know, didn't get incarcerated because of the things we've done.
Right.
And so when we look at our community, the second chance community, we see a lot of people who've made one mistake that they'll never make again.
Right.
Our recidivism rates show that if you come through our program and if you become a part of our community, that you don't go back to prison.
Yeah.
You know, so we just want to continuously promote that. And I want to continuously go out into the community and, you know, look for second chance people who aspire to start or grow a business and bring them into the fold.
Yeah. Awesome. You seem like you had something you wanted to
share.
Well,
and even as you're sharing, just, you know, as I think about the folks who, you know, they have logistics, they have pricing, they have management, they have these things. We just use them in the wrong way.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and so there's a potential there that we want to unlock.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing.
Release the lion, the beast that's in them. Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's not just the money, and it's not just fairly priced money, because anybody can go get money at 25-35%. That's out there. And if you're thinking about going and getting money at 30%, please don't do it. Okay, it's a trap.
Right.
But not only do we do fair with no fees, but we also pair that coach. That's the thing, is we have a volunteer business coach come alongside and walk with that individual. We have a business program coach coordinator who, Sheree Tucker, she helps with pairing the coaches, their skill set, with the things that our borrowers need, and she pairs those individuals up to make sure that there's the most impact possible.
Sure. Yeah. So is this like one-on-one mentoring,
One-on-one,
or is it group?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
it can be group. So it can be group, because we have what's called an aspiration workshop, where it helps you to either refine your business pitch or to create your business pitch.
Yeah.
And then we pair you with a coach. At the end of we have an event called the Big Aspiration Mingle, to where we pair you with a coach after you give your pitch. But then Entree Capital, Brian and Sharia, has also launched Launch and Grow, which is another program for more advanced business fundamentals. So you not only come and get a business coach, but you come and get a community of individuals who are going down the same path and walking the same path that you're walking.
Let's talk about why this program is so vitally important. Because for those who have not experienced being incarcerated, whether it be state, federal, or local jail, let's talk about what the barriers, man, that the pitfalls that people face. And I remember when I was transitioning from the halfway house, right? That was a man who had done 20 years plus. And the night before, he was sick. He was literally regurgitating, because he knew life was about to get real, coming into the real world. He knew it was going to be the barrier of having to disclose information that he's, been incarcerated. He knew it was going to be a barrier of being able to find housing. He knew it was going to be a barrier of employment. He knew it was going to be a barrier with dealing with some family members, right? And just talk about how real that is, man. I mean,
well, I guess for me, it was that I was incarcerated for 29 years, and I can tell you that the day before I was released, I didn't know what to expect. And the day of my release, funny story, I was actually car sick. I actually got car sick on the way to the transitional house. But I think that one of the things that happened to us after doing so much time is that we fear the worst. We fear that people always gonna, look at us for the things we've done, in the past, and not the men that we are today.
yeah.
We fear of lack of opportunities because of being labeled as a ex-felon, so to speak.
Right.
And so, but when you have programs like PEP, and then you have what I call assistant programs like Entree Capital, that is 6 brothers and sisters who come through our program. Then you get the hope.
Yeah.
And so, but unless you have these type of programs, unless you have people that support these type of programs, then it's a limitation of hope for the brothers and sisters who are coming out of prison.
Yeah. People have to be able to work outside the box, be innovative, be creative, and take risks, in supporting the mission, if you will.
And community, that's the piece.
Yeah.
It's that belonging somewhere that's so important and unlocks and heals. There was a brother I remember meeting with, it was last year, early summer, and he was walking around with so much shame because of his story and his past. He opened up to me. We connected, and from there, he began to come into the community in various ways. And over the next year, more and more and more. And this summer, he got on a stage in front of 80 people and shared his story. And a year prior, he was walking around, wouldn't share this with anybody. But that's the power of community.
You said something so powerful. And when it was an epiphany for me when you put it in this way, not that I was ignorant to it, but it was so strong the way the message was delivered. And that was that community is the one community that's not protected.
Mm.
That's the most underserved community.
Yeah.
No vote, can't vote.
Mm-hmm.
Housing discrimination. I mean, to me, it's discrimination. Employment discrimination. And yet, I work with people who have been released, and they was the best employee. Showed up on time, did their tasks on time, was dependable people. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, it's just, so you got to roll up the sleeves and get involved, Terrence. So it sounds like that when they go through the program, there's a graduation, there's a recognition, which I'm sure have impact on them of accomplishment.
Yes.
Right? Talk about that.
So PEP starts inside of the prison system. We have what's called a leadership academy that all of our brothers have to go through before they even start the business component of our program, because we believe that unless you get your character right, you can't be successful in business.
Sure.
And so once they complete the leadership part, then they start what's called a business plan competition. It lasts about 4 months, and then we crown a winner of the business plan competition. But the whole class graduates as a whole. And when I tell you that experiencing a graduation at PEP is unlike anything you ever experienced before.
Wow.
Most of those guys are walking across the stage for the first time in their lives. First time in their lives, and then they have their families in the audience that are witnessing it. And so after they complete the inside portion, we have what's called e-school once they're released. And e-school lasts 90 days, and they also experience a graduation.
What is e-school?
So e-school is entrepreneurship school, and it's part of our reintegration program that we have for the brothers who graduate from PEP on the inside, and then they choose to maintain contact with PEP after they're released.
What does that look like, though? Can you give some examples?
Yeah, so in e-school, there's 12 different classes. It's on a rolling schedule, and they go with things such as, establishing a bank account, understanding how to budget, having a girlfriend plan. The things, the things that matter, to a man upon his release. And the classes all are prepared to help you avoid the pitfalls in life upon your release, and to have a support system, because we have support sponsors that show up at the PEP Collider every Tuesday. They just come there just to talk with you, brother. It's not even about business. It's about life.
What? I got to jump in right now and then cut you off time. Listen, if you're viewing this right now and God has blessed you and you've been a steward and you are faithful and you looking for something to sponsor, support, invest in, hey, listen, the greatest real estate is not in the building or the dirt, but it's the human being that's the dust of the earth. And I just want to encourage you and challenge you to support this program and any way you can, because listen, 600,000 to up to 650,000 been released. We can make a difference in impacting their lives. What would you rather? Someone stand over you in ski mask with a 9 in your mouth, or someone that's contributing to society and making a contribution that's positive and can stand before your children and other kids and be a good role model and say, hey, listen, this is what you don't want to do. This is not the path you want to go beyond. So I just had to throw that in, man, because that was just such an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what else can you share with us, Brian? So how did the finance piece see this as an opportunity, though? Because not typically, banks are more conservative. They want a business plan. They want financials. They want, but and they consider even people in business to be risks, right? But what made your institution or the institution you work with to say, okay, this is gonna be our space, our niche?
Yeah, well, being a CDFIs, the true spirit of a CDFI is access to capital, fair rate capital, with developmental services or technical assistance, which is the coaching that we talk about. When Entree Capital was formed, it was formed by a couple of guys. One is still the chairman of the board, Roger Manning, and Stephen Hausman, who's retired. They formed this. They were actually 10-year PEP board members that saw this need and were doing loans to guys on the side. And they got together and said, we should form a CDFI and see if this thing really works. And so the way we look at credit is very different from a bank. We don't look at the credit score. We look at the credit story. We look at the skill set. We look at their coachability. Someone's coachability. In fact, that is the greatest measure of success. Our best borrowers. I got guys doing $8.5 million hotshot company in West Texas. We got a tree care business that's doing $5 million a year. We got another. I don't know how much he's doing down in Round Rock. Probably 6-7 million. A concrete business, and so you look at these guys. All of them are coachable.
Yeah.
So we look to find folks that are coachable, and we have underwriting methods that are just redemptive.
One of the things I'm thinking, because I have oppositional behavior disorder, y'all, so I'm always out of the box. So that's just what I do. I'm thinking right now that for me, I would love to have access to the business owners that's gone through PEP to find out what service they provide, because I'm building a project that's going to require me to lay concrete. And if they're not too far away, I would love to be able to support them in their business. And that would I just want to have that kind of relationship. Is that possible for that to happen?
Absolutely. One of the things that I'm striving to do in my position is to create pathways for opportunities for our PEP businesses and other second chance entrepreneurs. Because, like you said, we pretty much work harder than anyone. We just don't have the same opportunities as everyone. And so if you give us opportunities to show our work, then that would give us opportunities to give to other brothers, subcontract out to other brothers, so that they can also get the same opportunities. But absolutely.
I love that because right now I know that there's Houston has just received about $70 million for housing. There's been a discussion about homelessness, the epidemic of homelessness in our city, and I'm pretty sure it's nationwide. There's been a discussion about misplaced people and assisted living and those kind of things, and so they were kind of making an appeal, right? So it would be an awesome opportunity for those persons that's in the network of PEP who offer those services to create some type of formation and be able to access those dollars and be able to perform, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Brian? I mean, is that something that?
Yeah, and we would look at the loan readiness of the individual, and we look at the business readiness, the plan, and could potentially be stuff that we could fund.
Yeah, awesome, man. So listen, we're gonna take another break right here, and don't touch that dial. Subscribe, hit the smash button, and share it with your friends. Be a part. We want to hear your comments, right? If it's your nephew, if it's your uncle, if it's your son, if it's your grandson, listen. Send us some information. Reach out to us, and I promise you, we'll pass you along to Terrence, and Terrence will follow up with you and get your relative, your loved one involved in this program. It's a great opportunity, and we want to see everybody win, because that's all we do is win. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, so welcome back to the Business Showcase Drip Zone. We're glad to have you. I'm your host, Dr. Carl Matthews. Listen, I just want you to know that there's going to be a gift for you at the end of this show. And we're going to drop the link right here for you to get it. And guess what? It's going to change your life. If you're in the space of social media and you're marketing social media, we're going to give you a nice blessed gift. Okay. Hey, listen, I got my special guests here. We're having a great time. I have Brian and Terrence, and I've come to love these guys, man. I tell you, I'm committed to whatever resource that I have, every kind of connection that I have. I'm going to make that available to you guys, and I'm gonna make it available to those 600,000, as many as I can, because I see them as a community of value, if that makes any sense. Because we're all of God's creation, right? And one of the things that I'm going to do is, and I'm going to make the appeal, if you are part of the faith base and you don't have a prison ministry, you're not going inside the prison, well, at least you're meeting every Sunday. So we want you to reach out to us because what we want to do is have a relationship with your church so that you can make this information available to your parishioners so they can make it available to their loved ones. Now, you talked about something very important, Terrence, and I know this to be true. Being a businessman and one who worked with businesses with 500 Fortune business marketing consulting, many times people have great ideas and they lack to do research to know who their audience are. They lack to do research to understand how to market specifically or how to speak to their audience. Like myself, I used to be a marketer that just throw it against the wall. Whatever stick and stay, that's mine. Whatever fall on the ground, I walk over, right? But that cost me a lot of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And so I've learned to be more strategic and understand that I can be able to dictate or at least evaluate what my ROI is going to be. How important is it for the persons in your program to be prepared for their business? I know you talked about some things.
Yeah, I mean it's very important, and it's almost to Brian's point about being coachable. So like I hear hundreds of ideas every week. You know, people contact me and say, I want to do this, I want to do this. But when you ask them the basic questions, um, what's the opportunity? What's the problem? What's the solution? Who's your target market? They can't answer those questions. Right. And so that doesn't make you, you know, a bankable business to begin with, but it also prevents you from taking quality steps forward towards accomplishing your goal on in the business if you don't have those basic business principles. You know, and so that's where, you know, Brian comes in that with his loan readiness assessment, you know, to help people to understand that this is what it takes to be ready to start a business.
You know, and before you come in, Brian, I want to say this. I have a client who has an amazing product, and I think it's going to do very well. And one of the things that we talked about when we had our conversation was who was her target audience, right? And she was like, anybody who brushed their teeth. I was like, okay, well, I get that, but everybody's not concerned about brushing their teeth. Everybody's not hygiene conscious, right? I mean, so how do you plan to present that pain point so that people say, oh, okay, I need your product?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's one of the things that you're talking about. So, Brian, I mean, chime in on how important it is and how relevant that is.
So I would say, you know, when you think about pitch readiness, is the ability to clearly and effectively communicate the problem, solution, ask, target market. Then there's a whole nother readiness we call loan readiness, where we look at a variety of factors. So the ones that score the most in our scorecard would be global debt service coverage ratio. Okay, this is how much money do you make between your business and your W-2 versus how much debt you have, your mortgage, your vehicle debt, your business debt. What is that ratio? So we look at that ratio, and the strength of that ratio is basically the less expenses you have to your revenue, the better your debt service is. And so that's a big deal. We look at credit score. Again, I told you earlier, you know, we look at the score. We're more concerned with the story, but the score does get you points, right? It shows something to us. And then we look at another variety.
It doesn't kill the deal, though.
It doesn't kill the deal. No. We do look at how long somebody's been in business with consistent revenue. We look at profitability of the business, how much time profitable, and a variety of other factors. Another one that's a big one is how much savings do you have? Okay, I mean, do you have 3 months of savings? Do you have over 3 months? We measure that. That tells us how well you're going to personally budget. Because if you can't run your own budget, how do we expect you to run the business budget to pay us back?
So, Brian, I mean, so the program is offered to persons who are already inside, right, who's already incarcerated. They don't have a budget. They don't have cash flow. I mean, unless they got a savings through commissary or something. I mean, what
well, so that's PEP, right? Okay. Yeah, you can tell them. I mean, that's PEP.
Yeah. So while you're inside, you don't have access to Entree Capital.
Right.
So what we do is we give you the blueprint of how to get access.
I see.
You know, and so it's like we generally don't deal with people who are fresh out of prison. We want to see like 6 months, you know, to a year. How are you reintegrating back into society? You know, what's your character like? You know, because inside of prison, You don't have all the temptations that you have outside.
Right.
So we are very character based. Our foundation is on the character first.
Right.
And so if you show up when you say you're gonna show up,
Right.
if you turn in the paperwork when it's asked of you, if you do the things that's asked of you, like that goes a long way.
Sure.
But that's just the first step.
Yeah.
So then it's a process to getting those savings. It's a process to getting foundated. Right. Well, I got a home, I got a job, I got consistent income coming in. Yeah. Some people like to jump, and skip steps. Right. But this is not the reality.
Go through the process.
Got to go through the process.
Yeah, got to go through the process. Because the process is what identifies your character, your how ready you are and prepared you are for really excelling in life, and how serious you are about that. Yeah. And so, if you just gave the money out there, I mean, you wouldn't have the ratio that you have, would you?
Right. Yeah. And we've seen, over time, we really kind of started to figure this out. We've got a 94% net repayment rate this year, which means that, only 6% charge off. In the CDFI world, you're targeting 8 to 12%. So we're well underneath that. So we're proving that this market, is a good market and is worthy of investment and has the potential to change communities.
Is it the process that gives it its validity, or it's what is it that makes your rate so great? And
it has to go back to the coaching.
Okay.
When you have someone, the level of our business coaches is very high. I've personally used our own business coaches to coach me. I mean, they're that good, and they're all volunteer based. They're just passionate about the mission of helping. And so when you really get that kind of love and care, it goes a long way. At the end of the day, it really is love.
I mean, but honestly, I mean, considering the fact that economics at that level, finance at that level, is not taught in public schools. No. I didn't know anything about a FICO score until I was 25 years old. Yeah. And I said all the time, when I heard the acronym, I thought it was a disease. I was like, what is that? Why would I want that? Right? And then when I did get a good credit score, they gave me my first credit card. I thought it was a black card, right? I was shocked, man. But the point is that kind of education is absent in the minority community. Yes. At least it was in my era coming up, and I don't hear too many parents having conversations at the table about financial planning and credit score, how important to have it, and budgeting and those kind of things, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those, and I'm glad you brought that up, because those are the things that we're addressing now. Yeah. Like in Launch and Grow, we had an excellent session about credit, and Brian brought in some financial experts to talk about it. And I think that we not only, we can only serve so many people. If we had the help from the community to establish these type of programs where they teach about credit, like those people who are second chance citizens that go through the programs in the community come to us already ready for the next step. So once they got their credit together, once you teach financial planning, if you did that in the community, then you can help your brothers and sisters already be prepared for Entree Capital. Man, I was at Windsor Village Church, since you're talking about the faith base and the collaborative relationship, right? And I always include the faith. My dissertation was about the faith base having relevance in the community, and that they would have to reach out and have partnerships with the private sector. And with the right formation, you can do that and then affect the spirituality of it. Because the reality is, there's a business side of the church as well. And what I was pleased to see was an entrepreneurship program over there, which means it's one thing to talk about tithing to your parishioners, but you talk about stewardship, but you never talk about financial planning. There's never no course or seminar or anything that talks about planning and financial planning and paying your bills and understanding what your net worth is. A lot of people say, "Oh, I made $1 million." Well, what was your net? Exactly. But if you made $1 million and you spent $1.5 million, that means you still in debt. Yeah. Right? That's right. That's right. And so, I think this is so awesome, because that's growth. Yeah. That's empowerment.
There you go.
And when a man man have knowledge, and you know, a lot of people say knowledge is power. I don't agree with that. I think only when you use it,
Yeah, you got to apply it.
it has to be applied to make
Mm.
it power. So listen, guys. So I mean, you know, I'm sure there's so much to talk about, but we're about to wrap up. And come on, give us some closing remarks, and then give your information about how you can be reached, your email, or contact number, so that someone can reach you.
Go ahead, team.
All right. So my closing remark would be to all second chance, aspiring second chance entrepreneurs. Um, be ready to go through the process. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would be able to do it. Be coachable, but don't be afraid to tell anyone of your dream. There's one thing that one of my personal mentors told me some years back that has stuck with me, you know, for the last 7, 8 years. And he said that your dreams are really pieces of a puzzle that other people have the pieces to.
Talk, sir.
Meaning that once I start expressing what my dream is, I have to reach out to other people to find different pieces to my puzzle. You know, you're not going to do anything by yourself. I totally disagree with the self-made, you know, concept. You're going to need people to help you move on. And this is where PEP comes into play. And you can contact me at terrence.sampson@pep.org. That's TERRENCE.SAMPSON@pep.org. And I will answer any question that you have as being a second chance citizen trying to start or grow a business.
Awesome, man. Mr.
Wow.
Bryant, come on, man.
Well, you summed that up very well. It's very hard to follow somebody like this guy. But I would just say, you know, as I look at those who have excelled, I see individuals who come into a community and open up and avail themselves to the community. And this is what you're talking about. We talk about puzzle pieces. There's other people, you know, Cardone says, you know, your net worth is your network. Your network is your net worth, right? And so it's true that God uses people to, in the instance of that one story that I gave earlier, actually heal us in certain parts. And so I think that getting involved in the community is the biggest thing that you can do, because there is a community. There is this sanctuary city where you can be vulnerable and open about everything. And there's no judgment. When you get that kind of acceptance and you feel that kind of love, that's going to unlock the potential that's in you. So come.
Hey,
and if you want to get in contact with me, it's brobert@entrecapital.com. BROBERT at Entree. That's ENTRE capital CAPITAL.com.
What an entree it is. It's the course before the meal, the big course. You know? So you're not a foreigner. You're a citizen. You're a human being. Everyone makes mistakes and falls short. And so listen, I don't want you to feel that you are devalued. You have creativity, you have innovation, you have ideas, you have dreams, you have hopes. The mindset, what a man believes, he can achieve if he can conceive. This is your boy. Thank you for joining us today here at the Business Showcase Drip Zone. We're so glad to have you. And listen, for you stand to the end, I'm going to drop a link at the end of this. I'm going to send you a free book, and it's called The Willpower Behind Social Media Marketing. If you're an entrepreneur and you're tired and you're burning out and you're doing everything you just can't seem to get ahead, and you want to elevate your game and accelerate your business to the next level, I'm going to send you this book. It's going to help you. And I'm going to even start sharing some things so you got it. So thank you. Until next time, have a good evening. We love you. Be blessed. Thank you, Jimmy.
Absolutely.
Good job.
So,
you want this little guy back?
Hello, my friends. I want to let you know how much I appreciate you. Let me ask you a quick question. How many opportunities have you lost because of a call was missed, a follow up didn't happen, or time slipped through the cracks? As a business owner or an entrepreneur, your time is one of your most valuable assets. Today, I want to show you how booking software and 500 Fortune system work together to protect your time, increase efficiency, and drive consistent growth. In our book, The Real Power Behind Social Media Marketing, you will get some of the few tips there on how you can increase more customers and cash flow. And you can do it with automations because we give you your life back, and it prevents burnout, and it prevents you from losing customers through the cracks because of the lack of follow up.